Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, y'all. Thanks for everybody that subscribed in the last couple days.
This is how you do it.
My little boy loves the Michael Myers song. So I'm gonna sit down because I always sit down right here. Let me get this book though, because I wanted to talk to you guys and read it while we were on a live stream. Alexander Pludre. Nathaniel, do you want to have a voice? I will remove your esophagus so you cannot scream. Okay, so sorry about that. Earphone wearers beware. I have a 4-year-old and he is loud. So I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about some stuff that I wanted to start doing and clean my phone off. There we go. So I am currently taking 8 milligrams of Suboxone a day, and I just went to see my doctor.
Mommy.
I got called in for a drug screen. I think it was Wednesday. Yeah. Yes, Nate.
Send us a text.
Uh-oh. I went into the doctor Wednesday for a random drug screen and for them to count my medication. Because they do that, it's just like protocol. And I was talking to the nurse, Miss Lisa. I love her, you guys. She's like my favorite nurse. And she was like, I've never met anybody so happy to be sober as you. And I told her about our channel, you guys. So maybe she'll come over here and watch the channel. And she's a nurse, so she can maybe give us some pointers on tapering and stuff like that. But I will see my doctor on November 15th, and I'm going to talk to him about going down 2 milligrams. I'm really kind of like hesitant to do it, you guys, because I'm hesitant because I don't know why I'm hesitant, because I've gotten so used to being on it, you know what I mean? But I do think I should try to taper, you know what I mean? And if I can't do it, then I'll just go back up. But I want to do it with my doctor, I'm not going to do it on my own. Like, I won't taper on my own. So, and I'm not a doctor, but I just don't recommend, like, tapering by yourself. Like, I think it's important to have someone that knows that you're doing it, like your doctor or physician. And so that way, if you need any help or something goes wrong or you get anything, they can help you with that. But that's just my opinion. So, I feel like a lot of people that get on Suboxone, they have this like rush, this like, I gotta get off, because of what other people say about Suboxone. And I used to be the same way, you guys. Like, I used to really let it affect me. And just like Avalon was talking about the other day, she has a video that she called Suboxone Doubts. Hey, baby. Stop. And so, this is a serious video, son. She was talking about, she's her own worst critic. And she's really hard on herself about being on it. And you guys, like I'm telling you, I used to be the same way. And I used to let so many people affect me. But at the end of the day, you have to live your life. If I relapse, nobody is going to be around that said anything to me about being on Suboxone. It's going to be up to me, to get back on track. So that's why I am such a big advocate for taking it slow. And do not rush. If you think about it. I was in my active addiction, you guys, for 13 years. Okay? IV use. All right? I'm not going to heal overnight, Do you hear that, guys? They hear it, Nate. We're not going to heal overnight. Okay, baby.
I'm going to show him.
It takes one day. Show them, Nate. They see. What are they doing? Okay. Thank you. Bye. He's been in rare form today, you guys. Daddy's bringing home lunch for us. So, because he had to go to the doctor today. Maintenance people that are calling my phone. Okay. Sorry, guys. Maintenance medication is to help you maintain sobriety, and that's what I use it for. You know, it helps me, you guys. And sure, one day, you know, I'll be ready to jump off, but I'm telling you something. For me, hey, Rockin' Roberta, for me, the internal healing that I have to do in my recovery is it's so much. Like, when I tell you that, like, I thought getting sober was just going to be about quitting drugs, right? And I thought, okay, you know, once I quit drugs, my life will be back together. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. It is so much work looking inside of yourself and really taking responsibility for the things that we did when we were in our active addiction. It is like a slap in the face, you guys. The other day I was, yesterday I was getting ready to do that expose video about my friend Andrew. And if you guys have anybody that you recommend that you want me to expose to the recovery community, and it'll send people their way to watch their videos, let me know and I'll expose them next. But it's all positive stuff, so it's really good, actually. But I was getting ready to do that video, and I was thinking about the first time I ever met Andrew, and how for a year I kept it from him that I was on Suboxone. I kept it from him because he's a recovery advocate in the community, and he is an abstinence-based recovery advocate. He takes part in AA. And I was so afraid to tell him that I was on Suboxone, you guys, because I had been judged by people in AA and NA prior to that, right? And whenever I am judged, like now, like whenever people say anything about me being on Suboxone, it is always someone in a 12-step fellowship that has a problem with it, that wants to say, oh, well, you're not sober. And you guys know how hardcore I am for AA and NA. Like, I absolutely love it. Listen, Roberta, and it is. So and don't feel bad, because when I first did my first fourth step with my sponsor, I wrote down everything everybody had done to me. And we got into it, and she started reading it, and she goes, oh, wait a second. You just wrote, girl, you got to take some responsibility. I didn't know. That's what I thought I was supposed to do. And then, so what that did was it brought up all these emotions. Like, I had to start, like, looking. It was like looking at yourself in the mirror and then having, like, all these things. Okay, it's like looking at all the bad things that you've ever done, whether it be cheated on your boyfriend. Okay, that was a big character defect that I had, was infidelity, promiscuousness, seeking attention from the opposite sex. So for me, it was like I had to look at all those times that I went behind my boyfriend's back and had sex with his best friends. I was that kind of girl, y'all. Hey, Kim. What's up, girl? That's my Australia sister. So when you have to bring up that stuff, it's like, damn, I was a hoe. You know? But so I had to start looking at those kind of behaviors and the attention-seeking behaviors from men. And then I had to also start looking at my behaviors where I would seek validation from others, and just other people in general. You know, what else did I have on there that was really, I'm telling you though, the promiscuity and cheating was a big deal for me on my fourth step, and having to like realize that I was dishonest, because I always have prided myself on being honest, you know, but I was honest when it benefited me when I was in my addiction, and that was the hard truth of it. I always pride myself on helping others and, you know, like giving back. And even when I would say that in my addiction, like, you know, I'm the realest person, you know, I'll give you the shirt off my back. But it was when it would benefit me. Sure, I'll give you the shirt off my back if you got a Xanax. And I had to start looking at that. And it was like, wow, I am selfish. I'm self-seeking. I am promiscuous. And everything I did, like, it affected my, all those, on the 4th step, they have you check these boxes, like, does it affect my social, my security, my sexual instincts? And everything I would do would affect those instincts, you know, like, a lot of the times, like at a job, a lot of times I would have stuff I would have to write down about working with other people in my job. And I would feel threatened or insecure because I would feel like somebody could be coming up and stealing my position. And so I had a lot of stuff where I would go out of my way to do something for them, but it was really because I was afraid that they were going to take my job, you know what I mean? Like, it just made me realize, like, how insecure I really am, you know? And it's whenever you grow up and you feel like all your life that you've been confident, because that's what I always would say, I'm confident, I believe in myself, I'm secure, you know, because I'm outgoing, you know, but that, all the 4 steps showed me how insecure. Okay, plug it in, baby. My 4 steps showed me how insecure I am, you know, and how I seek validation from others. And it was, hey, Nate, what's wrong? Baby, we're not watching that anymore. You're too young to be watching that. That's over and done with now. Halloween has done passed. Now let's stop talking about it. Whatever. So whenever, okay, so I realized that. And so I had to, Roberta, when I did my 4 step, I had to do a case history, you guys. Once I realized that I couldn't just write down all the things that other people did to me, all the wrongs done to me, that I had to talk about my wrongs. I had to talk about doing sexual favors for men for drugs. You know what I mean? Like, and especially with my sponsor, you guys, my sponsor's got 31 years sober, and she is a Bible belt thumping lady. So I was really, really scared to share that with her. But you will never guess what? She was like, that's it? You know, she's done the same thing in her alcoholism.
I don't love you.
Nate, stop, please, buddy.
You have to stop.
So that's what the whole premise of that 4th step is, like, bringing you and your sponsor together. And it makes you realize, like, that we have so much, like, it's our struggles and the things that we go through, all of us, like, I bet you if all of us sat down in the same room and really got honest and didn't try to, like, show up or anything and admitted where we struggled and talked to each other about what we really feel in our hearts, that we would all have a lot in common. You know, all of us just want to make each other happy and be liked and be a part of. And in addiction, that takes us out of that, you know what I mean? And we don't have connections with people. So through working the 12 steps and going to meetings and working with your sponsor, you come to have this connection, which is the total opposite of addiction. And what it is it brings up, working through those steps, and it brings up a lot of pain, that you push down and you hide away. And so a lot of the times when people are going through their 4 step, you know, they will hide out or isolate, or they will drag on and, like, not get it finished. I remember one time I did a 4 step and made it last 6 months. It was torture. I tortured myself because I just didn't get it over with, you know? It's like just what it's doing is it's illuminating those dark crannies. It says in the big book. We're going to shine a light on that stuff.
A package right there. Get it, and see what it is.
There's a package.
No.
Oh, okay. it's shedding light on that like part that we've kind of tried to block out of our minds. It's bringing it back to the forefront of our memories. And when you take a look at that and you're like, whoa, you know, it's a blow to the ego. And that's what it's supposed to do. Knock us down a few notches and humble us. And so anyway, I know that for me, when I did my 4th step with my sponsor, Jesus didn't come down from the sky or anything like that. It was just like, it was just a good moment for me to really look and see the things that I need to work on. And now, like, I know, and now I try to do better. I struggle daily, you guys, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Ron and Anna, I struggle daily on, like, getting caught up in gossip and drama and being negative, because it's easy to be negative. Like, I don't know why, but I read this book by Joel Osteen, right? He's like a missionary or something. And even he talks about how in our minds, it's easier to focus on the negativity. It's easier to go to that part of the brain. We have to... Okay, we have to really practice on being positive and bringing up good parts in our minds, because our minds automatically go to the negative. I don't know what it is, but it's just easier, I guess. And so I have to practice, you guys, like telling myself positive affirmations. I have to practice, like,
Mommy,
just changing my thinking. Yeah.
This house is my house because I put that jack-o'-lantern out there.
Okay. I have to practice this new way of life, because naturally my mind goes to, you know, negativity, drama, gossip. Hey, Ronnie. Oh, no. Hey, Anna. Yeah, so, and that's the thing, like, I feel like a lot of people with tapering, and I know a lot of people ask me, like, why aren't you tapering? Why aren't you tapering, you know? And so I've been having a lot of people ask me about it recently, like, why am I not tapering? So, you know, I don't really have an answer for that except for fear. You know what I mean? Because I've got a strong ass recovery program. I have no answer except for that I'm scared. Outside because so many people don't understand this drug. You know, thank you, Shannon. And that's the thing, like, I see him, buddy. Suboxone has absolutely been the best thing that probably ever happened to me, you guys. And I'll share a little bit of my rehab background with you guys, and so you can understand where I'm coming from. So since I was probably the first treatment center I ever went into, I was like 22, I think, and it was a treatment center called Quapaw House. Okay, I went into Quapaw House because, well, my addiction had taken over. I had become addicted to painkillers, benzos, and methamphetamine. So I went in for 30 days and I needed help bad, you guys. Like, I was out of control. My family had kicked me out of their house and I couldn't go back to my parents' house. That was when they, like, cut me off. So I went into treatment and I listened. I heard what they were saying. And when I got out, I think I might have lasted 3 weeks and I relapsed. Okay, so I relapsed. And shortly after is when I started to IV use drugs, like started shooting methamphetamine. And once I figured out how to shoot up, that's when, within 6 months of learning how to shoot up, I caught my first felony drug charge. And when I caught my drug charge, they offered me drug court, which is like, you know, it's basically like you go into court and they call your number. It's just a lot of something. It's like a probation kind of thing, but it's hard. And they offered that to me. I didn't take it. I just took regular probation. They put me on probation for 3 years. Okay, I took my first drug screen on probation, passed, and then after that, for the whole first year I was on probation, I failed every single drug test, either for benzos, opiates, you know, and I back and forth. When I got put on probation, I started drinking because I was trying to stop taking pills. So I thought, well, I'll stop taking pills, but I needed some kind of relief. I needed to feel differently. I could not be okay with just me. So I started drinking. I would drink every single morning, all through the day and at work. And I was a bartender, so it worked out perfect. Within that first year of being on probation, my probation officer violated me and offered me to go to treatment. So I took the offer and I went to treatment in El Dorado, Arkansas. This was called South Arkansas Substance Abuse. I went there, and again, I wanted to be sober, you guys. This is where I experienced my first detox, like withdrawing from opiates. Oh, that's probably the most memorable time I can remember coming off opiates too. I diarrhea shit everywhere in that room, you guys, like everywhere. And it was not because I meant to. Like, I was trying to get out of my bed. I had scrubs on because that's what they dressed you out in. And I was running from my bed to the bathroom and just exploded. Okay? So, yeah, that happened. And that was when, and we were even on a medical detox where they gave us medicine to help ease it. Not Suboxone or anything, just like Ativan or something like that, some blood pressure medicine. And they took our vitals and everything, but I remember being sick there. Jenna, hush. So I got out of treatment, right? That's my second treatment center, all right? So I got out of treatment, and against my better judgment, I went back to Hot Springs, all right? They asked me to stay there in El Dorado and move into a halfway house and start fresh. But, you know, I couldn't do that because I didn't know anybody there. And because, well, I didn't want to. So I went back to Hot Springs. Mind you, I'm still living with my friends on couches. Like, my parents, I'm not living with my parents. I'm, like, homeless. So I'm just bouncing around from place to place, getting high still. Relapsed. Probably not even, the minute I touched down in Hot Springs, I think I lasted 2 weeks maybe, and I'm back on the streets shooting methamphetamine. Now, mind you, I still got these charges. I still have 2 more years of probation, and I'm failing drug screen after drug screen. Hey, well, that's when my probation officer finally, she was like, you know, I can't deal with you no more, and she violated me. And I went to court, and they sentenced me to a year in prison. So I went straight from court to prison, you know, and I did a year. Okay, so when I got out of prison, the whole time in prison I'm sober except for the last like 2 months, and then this girl started smuggling hydros in, so I was getting high in prison too. Well, I left out of prison and I paroled out to a place here where I live now. Hey girl, and
Let me see a sharp knife.
I paroled out to a halfway house. And I started doing the program in the halfway house. And when I got, so I was doing great in the halfway house. I had to have some kind of structure because I had been bouncing back and forth on drugs for so long. Like, I didn't know how to, like, live without using drugs. So living in the halfway house was really, really beneficial for me. I made it 9 months, and I relapsed on meth. Okay, when I relapsed, I let my counselor know right away. Hey, bye, Rockin' Roberta. See you later, girl. I let my counselor know right away, and I went into treatment at a place called RCA. Okay, so what's this, my 3rd treatment center? So I go into RCA, I do my 30 days, I come back out, and I go into the halfway house, right? So I'm doing good. Again, I'm back on track. I'm staying sober. 6 months goes by, and I move into the apartments across the way, which are also part of the halfway house. And life is going good, you guys. I got a job. I got promoted to assistant manager at my job, and I was killing it, right? Well, then I get promoted, and I start working more hours. And what happens? Y'all know what happens, right? I let my job take priority over my recovery, and, well, I relapsed and got high. So I relapse and get high, and I'm like, I got to get out of these apartments. I can't stay here, you know. So I moved in with my counselor's daughter. She didn't know, though. And my counselor was so mad, you guys. She was like, what are you doing? And I stayed out for another 3 years. and I didn't come back to get to sober life. Well, then it was 2010. So I did RCA. Okay, I went back to RCA in between those 3 years. It was like I had been out for a year and a half, and me and my friend Tara were living together. And I had gotten to a point where my job was like realizing that I was getting high. So my job sent me to treatment. So I went back to RCA, guys, okay? I went back to RCA, tried to stay sober, came out, moved in with my sponsor, okay? Because my sponsor was like, girl, I don't want you to die. So I moved in with my sponsor, and I started, I relapsed again on I was shooting Roxy's, you guys. Like, I was addicted to Roxy's so hard, that and methamphetamine. And so that's 4 treatment centers I went to, okay? Then in 2012, I met my husband, and we were both, you know, out there doing our thing. And so when we met, it was like a bomb blowing up, like two people that like to do the same thing, and we were on a mission to get high and kill ourselves, basically. And then in 2014, my son got taken away. 2015, my son got taken. I got pregnant in 2014, had my son, or 2013, had my son in 2014. And then he was about to turn 1 year old, and then he got taken from me. And that's when everything changed, because it wasn't about me anymore. I could at least, I might have been high all the time, but I still loved my son. But I did not have the coping skills to stay sober. That's right, Lisa. Hey, Lisa, I went on the computer today, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the stinking thing to do the... Anyway, thank you, Lisa. Good job. So okay. So I have my son, and he gets taken from me when he turns a year old, basically 2 days before his first birthday. And man, you guys, that's when everything shifted. I still wanted to get high, but I didn't want to lose my kid. So it was like these two. Like, I didn't want to lose my kid a little bit more than I wanted to get high. And that was just the perfect combination for me to realize I needed to get help and actually follow through for once. So I went into treatment the day that my son left. Yeah, he does. The day my son left, I went into treatment. I went into detox that day, you guys. And they detoxed me, and they gave me Suboxone while I was there. But when I went into the treatment center, they didn't give me anything. I was, you know, I had to just go without, be 30 days in there. So I did my 30 days, and let me tell you something. It wasn't good, because I was in there trying to manipulate folks. I was in there having my man bring me Xanaxes. I got caught, almost got kicked out. Just typical addict behavior, you know. I was having people smuggle drugs into me. I was still, like, riding the fence on wanting to be sober or not, even with my son in DHS custody, you guys. And when I got out of treatment, Neil picked me up that day, and I was crying, you guys. Like, when I tell you, I was scared, because I knew that if I went out and relapsed, that I would lose my son forever. And that little bit of love, you know, that really, really helped me. Like, how do I explain this? I loved my son enough to know that I needed to get more help, because I had been, so that's 5 treatment centers, you guys. I had been to treatment so many times. I had done the back and forth, stay sober for a couple weeks, stay sober for 30 days, stay sober for 6 months, and back and forth, back and forth. So I knew I needed more help staying sober. And that's when I got put on Suboxone. You guys, like, and many people ask me, like, what is your opinion on Suboxone? Do you think I should get put on it? And I never tell anybody they should get put on it, but the people that I recommend that should try it, if you are like me and you have been to 3 or more treatment centers, you have found yourself trying to get sober and cannot maintain that sobriety, when you have consequences held over you, like losing your son or going to prison for life, and you still are going, what's better, getting high or going to prison for life, then a maintenance medication might be beneficial for you. But, I mean, right. And so the thing about it is like some people don't understand that. Like they haven't been as far down, or maybe they didn't experience that tug by their addiction. Maybe their addiction, yes. When your addiction is so strong that it causes you to choose addiction over your children, I mean, that's a big deal, you guys. Like, so I think what happens is there's some people out there that get put on Suboxone and methadone, and they're just using it in between getting high on heroin. You know, they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not willing to change. They're still doing their old behavior. You're welcome, girl. And then there's people like me and you guys who want to change, who are willing to stay sober and just take their medicine and prescribed. And then there's people who you get who they kind of want to be sober, or they kind of still want to get high. And in between, while they're on Suboxone, they have a change of heart and they get sober and they just stay on their Suboxone as prescribed. And those are the people that, like my doctor, he's like, I love it when I have patients like you, Nicole, who come in, they want to get better, and I don't have to worry. Like, I know they're staying sober. But he says that he gets great joy out of helping others who he sees come in, and then they have that shift while they're on Suboxone and they want to change their lives and they want to stay sober. And that's what this medication has done for me. It has helped me to maintain my life and my sobriety and not go back and forth and play that back and forth rehab shuffle. So that's why, like, when people ask me, why haven't you tapered? Why aren't you getting off of it yet? That's why my response is like, why am I rushing? Why would I rush to get off of a medication that's helping me save my life? You know, why would I jump off? That's exactly what my doctor asked me. He's like, you know, I'm for whatever you want to do, Nicole, but why would you stop taking a medication that's helping you live your life? Because of, it's always because of what I've been taught before, that abstinence is the only way to recover. Yeah, exactly. Logical muse. And so I think what happens is a lot of people, they don't understand that for me, I don't know about other people, but Suboxone does not get me high. I was a junkie, y'all. And so this medicine, it's like taking an aspirin in the morning. And then I hear a lot of people talk about how they're numb on it. Like Rockin' Roberta says that she was numb on it. And I believe her that she was, but that has not been my experience, you know? But I really think it has to be logical muse. Yes, I used to. Oh, pandas, so good. I know what you're talking about, girl. And that's what the thing it is. I think that some people get put on Suboxone who maybe their addiction wasn't, and people get so mad at me when I say this, but there are levels to addiction, y'all. Okay, we might all have the disease, but there is like an imaginary line that you cross when you start shooting up dope, when you start shooting up Opanas, Oxycontin, roxycodones, heroin. There is like, it's like a whole nother level of addiction. And people get mad at me like I think that I'm better than them because I shot dope. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I screwed up my mind I screwed up my mind worse than some people that maybe hadn't shot up. You understand what I'm saying? And people get so offended when I say, hey, like, I think that there's levels to addiction. I think that some have not been as far down the road as we have been. So when you get different people that are on Suboxone that maybe they just took oxycodone and they were addicted to it for 10 years, but they took it orally. You know, I would go as far to say that that's a dependency. There's a difference between being addicted and being dependent on a medication. That's what I think happens is we got all kinds of different people mixed in. Right, like I'm not saying I'm more of an addict than you are. We're all addicts. But I think that there's levels to addiction. Severity levels. Like, we can all benefit from the same information, but you're not going to put an intravenous user like me and then a girl that took 5 Vicodins a day in the same category. Do you understand? And that's why they assess you when you go into treatment centers or you get put on Suboxone. They assess you for your severity of your addiction because it gets worse, never better. But some of us hadn't stopped before it got there. People get so mad at me when I say that, girl. And I don't know why. Right. And those using dreams that we have, you guys, those are totally normal. You know that, right? It's your subconscious, you know? I used to have dreams that were so vivid that I would wake up and I'd have to check my arms thinking I had just done something because it was so real.
All right, Nate.
Exactly. So when I get on a live stream and I'm trying to talk about levels and stuff, I'm not trying to make anybody feel less than, because it's nothing to be proud of. But the addiction in itself to shooting up is not, it's like nothing you've ever experienced. If you haven't been there. You know? And it's a psychological thing. I believe that. Yeah, exactly. And there's one person in particular. Okay, girl, I know somebody who did alcohol, like drinking alcohol. So there's one person in particular who gets so angry with me, and he thinks that, like, I think I'm the #1 drug addict because my experience is different. And just like I'm saying, like, I feel like my experience is severe because it was severe to me, and his experience might be severe to him. But when you, like, put us side by side, like, and you have somebody from the outside looking in pick who's, you know what I'm saying? So that's why they assess us and stuff when we get on medications. What was that?
Barking at, it's probably it's those guys.
Right. And that's why I try to tell you guys, like, I'm not making this up. There's actually in the AA Big Book, they talk about
These guys are cutting the wire.
The different levels of alcoholism or addiction. There is the moderate drinker, the hard drinker, and then the real alcoholic. Just like you could say there's the moderate pill popper, the real pill, the moderate pill popper, the hard pill popper, and the real junkie. You get me? So there is different. So anyway, and that's why medication like Suboxone, that's who it's for, are people that have been down to that severe road and they can't seem to get back to where they need to be.
Stop.
Yes, okay, and that's how it happens. We all start out as moderate. And then what happens as the disease progresses, we get worse. And it's worse, never better. Like if, say, a moderate pill popper went back out and relapsed today, they would get to that point where they were a hard pill popper. And then they would get to that point where they were a junkie. It just takes time. It's all a matter of time and progression. That's why when I hear people say, oh, well, I never shot up, I didn't let myself get to that point, I have to have a little chuckle. Because, honey, if you stay doing what you're doing, you'll get to that point. It will happen eventually. And some people, maybe it won't happen to that point where they use a needle, because some people actually have a fear of needles and stuff. But they'll get to that point where they're doing, you know, I don't know, snorting, whatever they do, that's equivalent to doing that, you know? I know I did, girl. I was like, oh, I will never shoot up. I'm not a junkie. That's disgusting. Like, I was so much better than everybody else because I was tooting them. And now look at me. That's what addiction does, though. Addiction wants you to think that you have some kind of control. Addiction wants you to think that you won't ever do that. And then the next thing you know, it's not about any kind of self-control, you guys. Because if it was about self-control and willpower, we would have all been quit a long time ago. It's just about it all. It's just all kinds of things contribute to it. So, anyway, I just love talking with you guys. Okay, I know that's right. Like, you guys, anyway, it was bad. I'm proud of you guys too, you guys. And for those of you who maybe haven't gone that far, I'm proud of you for wanting to be sober now and realizing that addiction is a progressive illness. It gets worse, never better. You know what I mean? Just the fact that you're in this chat and you realize, like, hey, I could shoot up and be just like Nicole one day. And I don't want to do that. I want better for myself. That's why I make these videos, not because I'm like, hey, yeah, look at me, I used to be a junkie. I make these videos because I want to help someone who maybe hasn't been to that down that road to stop before it gets to that point. You know what I mean? I just want to help other people who are struggling. That's always my intention. But anyway, I'm going to get off here and get busy. And I think I need to go do some stuff at work. But I wanted to come on and talk to you guys and just tell y'all how much y'all mean to me. We do recover. That's right, ladies. Lisa, thank you so much for everything you do to help me on my channel. You guys, Lisa is going to be my new moderator. I'm going to start out with just her as a mod. And then if we grow more on the channel, then I'll add more other people. But I have to figure out how to do it. I was on there this morning trying to find the button to click. But Lisa is just an amazing friend. She helps me. She's dedicated to the channel and helping me grow it, and I appreciate that. And I wanted to shout her out and give her some, you know, just positive feedback. Like, Lisa, thank you for helping me, and thank you for being somebody that I can lean on, you know. Oh, it will? Okay. Oh, yeah. Report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. Well, that's not what I want to do.
Stop it. Hey.
Oh, it doesn't give me actions. Huh, that's crazy. Maybe it'll...
Get mad? You don't want Daddy mad. Daddy will take your face off.
Ugh. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Well, I thought it would do too, but it says put user in timeout or hide user on this channel, and I don't want to do that. Okay, thanks, Logical Muse. I love you guys, though, and I really appreciate all your love and support. I'm going to be doing another expose video. The next video I'm doing is on a lady in the recovery community, and so I'll be uploading that. I'll make an event for it on my Facebook page, but I'll upload a video on here too. But I'll see you guys this evening. I know, Lisa, you're not. I'll see you guys this evening when I get home, and we will do another live stream and just talk about recovery. I had actually got a recommendation from Christy. She wants to talk about, you know, staying sober during the holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving and the stress that we go through with our loved ones. So I think that's what we're going to talk about tonight. If you guys want to talk about just, you know what I mean, like your family, staying sober around your family, whether that be like them resenting you or being too hard on you and trying to control you because they're scared you're going to relapse. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So we'll do it tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. So I will write it down in the comments, and I'll see you guys tonight. All right. Bye, Lisa. Thank you so much, The Logical Muse, for commenting a lot. I haven't seen you really a lot on my channel, so I'm really glad to have you here, girl. Bye, Anna. Love you guys.